So, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chill Talks podcast where conversations happen. I am your host, PJ, and this is actually a reunion episode.
Yes.
After 1 year, if you've listened to her episode, beauty, politics, and lahat pa, as in, very heavy ang topic natin today before. And let us welcome our returning guest, Miss Bicol University, 2022. 2022, 2023.
Yes po, 2022.
Tapos Miss Bicol Tourism 2023
Yes
and
po.
Miss Pili
Yes
2023. Miss Rian Maisy Zapata. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation ulit para magkausap
Yes
ulit
po,
tayo.
and thank you so much, Sir PJ, of course, for having me again. It's very nice to be reunited with you. And of course, the listeners of Chill Talks. Ayan, it's nice to be back.
Yes. For sure, ang unang sasabihin ng lahat is, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
In a span of 1 year, sunod-sunod ang growth na nakita namin sa'yo. And
maraming salamat po.
binafan ever since. So for sure, ang first question ko sa iyo is, how are you able to handle yung ganong sunod-sunod na blessings? Kasi before you talk, you shared to me na marami ka pang gustong irating. I can't believe it. Last year, sinabi mo pa lang na marami kang dreams. Now, having it become a reality, kamusta? How's the feeling?
It's very overwhelming, and sa totoo lang, kahit ako hindi pa rin ako makapaniwala. Like ko nga sinasabi, especially with the recent pageant that I have won, which is the Mutianang Pili Festival 2023, na like after 2 days po, I still feel like I'm dreaming, na parang feeling ko natutulog lang ako, nananaginip lang ako. Kasi di rin ako makapaniwala na naabot ko yung mga once na pinangarap ko lang. Kasi I don't know if na-share ko to dun sa last na podcast ko natin. Simulang pagkabata talaga, like mga 3 years old, is naipakita ko na yung dream ko of becoming a beauty queen. So, super sikat na kwento sa amin within the family na when I was like siguro 5 or 6 years old ata, dumaan daw kami sa rehearsal ng Little Miss Bicolandia, yung mga pang-bagets na pageant ng Little Miss Bicolandia. And gusto ko daw sumali. Like, nagtititaas daw ako dun sa stage. And then, nung hindi ako pinagbigyan, kasi syempre, hindi naman talaga ako kasali. Hinila ako ng parents ko. Kasama ko yung buong fam ko, parents, uncles, auntie, and then mama and dad, yung lolo and lola ko po. And nagalit daw ako, umiyak daw ako ng umiyak na hindi nila ako pinagbigyan. And kinuha ko yung sapatos ko, tinapon ko, and tumama siya, unfortunately, sa side mirror ng isang sasakyan. And
Yun lang.
super nag-attitude ang Little Macy. And dun pa lang daw is parang nakita na nila na, siguro pangarap nito maging beauty queen paglaki niya. And ayun nga, from an incident like that, na sa ganong edad ko is parang nagpakita na ako ng interest. Nakakatuwang isipin na lumaki din naman talaga actually of becoming a beauty queen. And of course, this wouldn't be possible without the support ng family ko, syempre, na talagang andyan sila to support and guide me in my pageantry journey. And hanggang ngayon, hindi nawawala yung feeling of gratitude ko for winning these crowns and titles. Kasi yun nga, parang I always keep my feet on the ground, na alam ko naman na lahat ng ito is hindi basta-basta madaling makuha. I had my fair shares of ups and downs in my pageantry journey. Kaya super thankful ko po talaga. I always owe it to God everything that's happening sa pageantry journey ko.
And that's good. I think based on your kwento kanina, nakita ko yung shinare mong recent memory, yung bata ka pa na nagbe-video, di ba?
Tapos siguro po mga 7 or 8 ako noon.
Tapos biglang nag-manifest. Younger you would be proud.
Opo.
So far, in those last year, I can't believe it na last year lang talaga, no? In that year, how did you mature? As a woman, as a student,
Yes,
as a child, madaming nabago sa'yo during that span of, matatanong naman ng karamihan is that, tao ka pa ba? And how you handle those different success? Kasi let's face it, there are people who cannot handle instant success, instant recognition, instant anything in life. So on your end, how did you mature during that last year?
I think in a lot of ways po. Kasi I believe that maturity really comes with experience. And of course, while we grow older, is mas dumadagdag din yung experiences natin. And as for me, especially with the pandemic, I know that a lot of things have happened. And it was really a rough patch sa ating lahat. And I was able to like instill in my mind how to handle things gracefully. Na at the end of the day, alam kong wala akong ibang maaasahan kundi sarili ko. I know that there are a lot of supportive people in my life, pero at the end of the day, it will be my decision if kung ano yung mangyayari sa buhay ko. And I always instill that in my mind, especially as a college student na I'm also living alone now in Legazpi as a student of BU. So yun po, parang yun lang talaga yung lagi kong iniisip na parang I need to always have my back sa kahit anong sitwasyon. Not just in my pageant journey, but as a student as well, and as an individual.
So, you talk about yung being independent sa Legazpi. Kasi for context ng mga nakikinig, especially sa mga nasa Manila, ang distance ng Daet to Legazpi is almost 4 hours away, 4 to 6 hours away. So malayo-layo yung biyahe yun. And nag-solo ka sa dorm.
Ay, may kasama
May kasama ka sa dorm.
Dalawa
Okay.
kami.
Pero basically it's an independent lifestyle.
Yes po.
So ngayon, how did that independency challenges you para harapin yung mga bigat ng pressure during the pageant days na nararamdaman mo? Kasi aside sa pageant, you have academics.
Yes po.
You have the stress ng mga requirements sa school, and you have this pressure na you have to perform well sa pageants.
Opo.
So how did that isolation or isolation nga. How did that independency help you to grow more?
Yes, no, it really challenged me, but I have to say that that kind of independence will really help you as a person. Like, napakalaking factor niya. Kasi when we learn how to be in ourselves, like, how to be alone, how to isolate ourselves, actually, dun tayo mas nakakapag-ponder and mas nakakapag-reflect more on ourselves, on our actions. And ako, as an only child, so syempre talagang sanay rin ako na I'm always with my parents. And especially, ever since talagang lagi akong kasama ko parents ko. And when I face the real world na like in college life, dun ko talaga mas na-realize na, okay, I'm entering like the adult life na talaga wherein kailangan ko na talagang matutong mas maging independent pa and mas mag-depend more sa sarili ko. So, yung independence na yon, masasabi ko naman na it gave more positive impact sa akin kaysa naman sa negative. Like, at first, I was expecting that it would really be hard for me to adjust to the environment. Pero, fortunately, masasabi ko naman na no, mas naging maganda yung flow ng pag-adjust ko from being here in Daet and then yung pagiging independent ko sa Legazpi. Kasi siguro it also comes with this kind of mindset na ako kasi like inabot ako ng senior high and parang with all those parang mga abrupt pause sa buhay ko na parang ang daming ganun, is parang ngayon ang mindset ko na talaga is parang I have to focus more on achieving my goals, na parang time is ticking. Though I don't want to pressure myself, but that's the reality. Tumatanda na ako, and ayan, 4th year na ako ngayon, parang hapon first year lang ako. And with that kind of like mindset na parang alam kong I have to be focused more talaga sa pag-build ng future ko. So yun, parang it really helped me din in a lot of ways na parang in everything that I do, I always have to give my best. Na kasi parang some opportunities, it will be just given to you once and hindi na mababalik ang time. And kung ganun tayo ka-focused in everything that we do, then of course we could make sure na parang we're giving our 100% best. Even though hindi natin makuha yung expected result natin, but the fact that you gave all your 100%, that would be enough for you to say na nag-grow ka as a person.
Okay. So that kind of independence, parang nakakatuwa din siya isipin, no? Kasi personally, I'm also an only child. Then,
I remember.
Then yung parang bigla kang nalayo sa parents mo.
Opo.
Tapos marirealize mo na, oh my God, wala na ako ibang makikilingan, ako lang talaga. So during that journey, may mga times, may mga natutunan ka ba on your own na, alam mo yun, na pag nag-reflect ka, ay hindi ko to matututunan sa if I stayed in Daet?
Opo. Siguro yung one thing that I really learned is that you will never grow if you will stay in your comfort zone. Kasi totoo din talaga, like na-realize ko na in life, kapag masyadong convenient for you ang lahat ng nangyayari sa'yo, hindi mo talaga makikita yung real essence of growth. Kasi mas mafe-feel or mas mananamnam natin yung pag-grow talaga natin as an individual. When we are faced with a lot of battles, di ba, and mga challenges sa buhay na commonly, hindi naman natin siya talaga may experience if like nandun lang tayo sa comfort zone natin, dun sa convenient talaga tayo. And of course, staying in your hometown, and syempre, like, yun nga, simula pagkabata talaga, sanay naman ako always with my parents. Like, I know that they always have my back, ganyan. But to live independently and to live alone, hindi mo na talaga yun maaasahan. Talagang alam mo sa sarili mo na ikaw na lang ang gagawa ng solusyon sa lahat ng kakaharapin mo. So, maybe yun din talaga yung napatunayan ko. If you will grow as a person if you leave your comfort zone.
Okay. Yung cases na, I think there were cases, personal anecdote lang din. There were cases din nung nag-solo life din ako dito sa baliktad tayo, no?
Opo.
ikaw nag-solo life ka sa Albay. Ako from
Opo.
Albay, nag-solo life dito sa Daet.
Oo.
And one of the things na natutunan ko din ng mag-isa is that sometimes there are problems, there are challenges na nararamdaman natin na sinasarili natin muna.
Opo.
Na parang it doesn't, hindi na siya katulad ng, ay, may ganito akong problema, lapit agad ako sa parents ko.
Opo.
Parang it was not the case, no? Parang it's more freeing sa pakiramdam na pag nagkwento kayo ng parents mo, masasabi mo na, na-overcome ko tong problem na ito. Diba? Para mas okay siya.
True, opo.
Well, depende sa situation. Depende sa tao, pero yun yung sa ating dalawa. Okay. So, during your journey doon sa Legazpi, diba you said about leaving your comfort zone,
Yes.
exploring yourself. Aside sa pag-alis from Daet, ano yung moment na nasabi mo na, I am leaving my comfort zone? Kasi it's easy to say na, okay, umalis ako sa Daet. Automatic, you left your comfort zone na yun, diba? Pero what if your personal comfort, ano yung nabasag doon para masabi mo na, nag-grow ako as a person?
Opo. Siguro yung ipasok ko na yung pageantry journey ko. Kasi dito sa pageant, masasabi ko talaga na marami ko na yung naging experiences that really helped me to grow and like na mag-reflect sa maraming bagay. When I joined pageants, nitong nakaraan talaga is super sunod-sunod. And I decided na sabi ko, I feel like this year will be my year na rin. Like, kailangan ko lang mas magdoble effort sa pagpapageant. And nag-decide na ako na mag-join talaga, like sunod-sunod. And I thought it was easy at first. Akala ko parang it's just a walk in the park. But hindi pala. Sobrang grabe yung pinagdaanan ko, especially. Share ko lang na these past few months po is sunod-sunod, 4 consecutive pageants. Sunod-sunod talaga siya, walang pahinga. Like sabihin natin 3 to 4 days or 1 week pagitan and then lipat na ako dun sa sunod na pageant. And it wasn't that easy kasi I'm studying pa and as a student, as an active student na very active din talaga sa academics, ang daming nabanggaan talaga ng mga sked ko in my school. And one factor pa is yung mga pageants ko, kalat. So I currently stay in Albay, but yung pageant ko, Cam Sur, Cam Norte, meron din dun sa Albay, nag-pageant din ako. And ang pagod pala talaga niya, yung pag-travel pa lang, hindi na biro, especially na-mention nga ni Sir PJ na 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours. And yung time pa na yun is finals week namin. And knowing, di ba, sa BU po,
Yes.
super competitive talaga ng nature sa ACADS. So it was really hard for me. I underestimated it somehow. And na-realize ko na during that certain point, I was also living my comfort zone and mas na-challenge din ako. And I realized na there are certain points in my life where I am left with no choice but to handle it gracefully or else I will fail in both aspects. Kumbaga, hindi pwedeng may mapag-iwanan ako ng attention. Like, during that time, pinagsasabay ko yung ACADS and pagpapageant. And in case na may mapabayaan akong isa, is I will feel like I really failed dun sa dalawa. So, it was a big challenge for me. Talagang yung time management ko, yung pag-balance ko is talagang na-challenge. Pero yun nga, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, like maturity comes with experience. During that certain point, it was very hard for me. But looking back, masasabi ko na it will help me further sa mga future pageants to come ko. Kung paano pa ako mas magbabalance ng mga bagay-bagay, not just in pageant or ACADS, but sa kung ano pang darating sa akin. So, yun po.
Yung multiple priorities,
Yes.
ika nga.
Opo.
Kasi the challenge is that lahat yung priorities
Opo, yun po.
Di ba? Wala kang pwedeng,
Hindi talaga pwedeng may mapabayaan.
ay, mas mahalaga to kaysa dito, mas
Yes
mahalaga to.
po.
Pero eventually, lahat sila mahalaga.
Opo.
At some point ba, how comfortable are you when asking for help? Kasi may mga instances na you're this busy Tapos parang nag-hesitate ka ba mag-reach out sa iba to ask for help?
Actually, no naman. Wala naman akong problema pagdating sa ganyan. Kasi yun nga, ever since, ina-acknowledge ko naman yung fact na I have such very supportive people around me. And I never take them for granted. And at the same time, na-appreciate ko yung existence nila sa buhay ko. Starting from my parents, to my family, to my boyfriend, to my classmates. Nako, yung mga blockmates ko, sobrang supportive talaga nila. Like, kapag may mga academic stuff akong napapabayaan, they always come para tulungan ako. Pero of course, hindi ko naman inaasa sa kanila kasi I don't want to become a student like that rin. Pero gusto ko lang ma-acknowledge rin talaga how they always initiate to help me with my schoolworks as well kapag alam nilang kasagsagan ng pageant ko. Especially nagte-thesis rin kami and my thesis mates, shout out to James and Zaina. Nako, napakaraming pagkakataon na talagang lagi nilang sinasabi, Mi, ako na muna, hayaan mo na, ako na muna. And nakakatuwa lang kasi by having such people like that, hindi nila minamasama yung career ko sa pagpa-pageant, considering that it's also my dream. And at the same time, nakikita ko na rin kasi talagang pageantry as a career. And it is such a big plus na alam ko may mga taong walang sawang sumusuporta and like they genuinely do it. Ayun po.
That's good. Kasi parang to add to your answer, there's this belief kasi, even before, personally, yun din yung naging belief ko dati, na ang pageantry, especially if you want to be a beauty pageant model or yung manalo ng iba't ibang awards, parang no naisip ko no before, ay hanggang dyan na lang yan. Diba? It's all hanggang beauty na lang pala. But upon witnessing the different growths of different women, nanalo man or hindi sa different pageant, it's not just about winning or it's not just about flaunting kung ano ang meron ka. It's, alam mo yun, yung ginagawa nyo na to share the advocacy, to share the growth, and parang to inspire more people na to be more comfortable with themselves. And at the same time, it's a very hard and it is a challenging it's a challenging path to take kasi you are in the public eye, unlike teachers, unlike yung mga mentors na konti lang yung mga nakakita, you are exposed to different kinds of people. So given that kind of publicity na nag-gain mo during this past year, anong mga iba't ibang feedbacks na nakikita mo about yourself, both positive and negative, and how were you able to handle those?
Yes, as beauty queens, we're very much victims of scrutiny since we're exposing ourselves to the public. Lately, thankfully, wala naman akong masyadong nare-receive na mga negative comments, like, na personal attack sa akin. Pero yung mga common lang talaga hindi nawawala, yung laging may mag-comment about your body, na parang all of a sudden sabihin nila, magpapayat ka pa, mga ganyan-ganyan. And, para sa akin, hindi ko na siya tinitake personally kasi una sa lahat yun nga, I understand the fact that as beauty queens talagang we're expected to be like, well, I do not agree. I want to break that kind of stereotype na parang mga beauty queens masyadong pinaperceive to become the ideal women or like perfect women. I like to be more raw and authentic. Kaya ako, hindi naman ako natatakot talaga magpakita ng rawness ko sa mga tao. And kaya nga ako, hindi naman ako natatakot talaga mag-show ng vulnerability ko. Kasi as a beauty queen, one important trait is for you to be relatable. And yun yung nakakatuwa sa mga beauty pageants na ngayon. More beauty queens are becoming more relatable. That the people, the public, especially the young ones, ay nakikita na talaga sila as someone to look up to. Not because of their perfection, but because of the reality that they reflect sa mga tao. So kapag ganyan, parang hindi na talaga ako masyadong affected. Kasi at the end of the day, yung mga bagay na pinupuna nila is like, it will just stay like that. Hindi naman talaga yung makaka-apekto sa performance ko or like sa pagkatao ko. But alongside those kinds of negative or harsh comments, I appreciate a lot as well yung mga positive comments that continue to fuel my pageantry journey. Kasi nakakatuwa kapag hindi talaga nawawala yung mga tao na super expressive na hinahangaan daw nila ako. Pagdating kasi sa physical appearance, like hindi na yun masyadong big deal sa akin pero super na-appreciate ko when people really commend my communication skills, the way I answer in question and answer portions. Yun yung mga bagay na talagang mas nag-i-stick sa akin. And nakikita ko din na a lot of people are messaging me, sending me private message kung paano daw nila ako ina-idolize. And saying like that, hindi naman sa parang nakakapalaki siya ng ulo, but more of nakikita mo na nagbubunga yung effort and hard work na binubuhos mo sa pagpapageant. Kasi yun nga, we are advocates, di ba? And it goes beyond the glitz and glamour. And for you to be able to connect with the people is really one thing. And yung magawa mo lang yung gano'n na makabuild ka ng connection, especially with your target audience. Like as for me, I'm an advocate for youth welfare and participation. And nakikita ko na talagang nakakabuo ako ng connection with the youth is sobrang laking bagay para sa akin.
And I have this, ano tawag nito? Before we proceed to the next one, I have a personal question dun sa when you said about relatability. So this may be a bit personal, if that will be okay. Kasi okay, because you talked about relatability, how a beauty queen can be relatable to the people. In the case of a beauty queen, parang let's just there's this barrier pa rin. There's this barrier na masyado siyang maganda, masyado siyang ganito, ganito lang ako. How as a person who acknowledges that kind of barrier, how can you establish relatability with the audiences na alam nila sa sarili nila na it's hard for them to be someone na ganito, kaya hanggang iniidolo na lang nila kasi there's a concept na parang yung idol concept na kung saan ang perspective ng tao na kung ano yung wala sa kanila, they project it doon sa taong nakikitaan nila ng best version nila. So with that kind of situation, how can you be relatable with those kinds of people? Kasi it's a tough, it's a tough to be relatable to them.
Actually, especially with the rise of technological advancements, we have really inflicted unrealistic standards. And talagang totoo yun. Pero for me, to be relatable is just simple. Just not be afraid to show your vulnerability talaga sa mga tao. Kasi yun nga tulad ng nabanggit ko, with the rise of social media today, masyado talagang pili yung mga bagay that we share online, right?
Yes.
And knowing how social media is like one of the most extensive platforms that we have today, that even the people we don't know is naka-follow sa atin, nakakapag-view sila ng buhay natin. Masyado tayong selective on what we share, diba, to the public. But for me as a beauty queen, it's very important that in whatever platform that you have, is hindi ka takot ipakita kung ano talaga yung raw na pinagdaraanan mo, not just as a beauty queen, but as a person. Ako, generally, I'm not afraid talaga to share to the people whenever I have the chance na yung lahat ng pinagdaraanan ko din in terms of my life as a student, as a beauty queen, all the nights that I cried, hindi ko yun tinatago sa kanila. Kasi yun nga, parang ma-establish talaga natin yung relatability. We always have to remember na lahat tayo tao lang. And whatever we see online or whatever we see on the surface level, yung mga superficial na nakikita natin sa buhay ng isang tao, is hindi talaga yan nagtatapos doon. And it's good to see that even our national the beauty queens, like sina Catriona, sina Pia, nakakatuwa tingnan na they're also exhausting every platforms that they have to share as well their authenticity to the people. So siguro, if we just practice more of like that, like yung mga beauty queen ngayon is mas establish pa yung ganyang klase ng mindset, it will be a very big game changer sa field of pageantry.
So you talked about vulnerability, 'di ba? So sa age ngayon na kung saan mental health is very prominent, na you have to care for yourself, self-awareness, how does one become vulnerable while protecting themselves? Kasi it's a bit of a contradicting baga siya. Contradicting siya na kung saan when you are vulnerable, you are open for any kind of response, positive man or negative, tama? So in your case, how would you advise people to be vulnerable and at the same time protecting their own din?
Yes po. First one, I think it's very important that we have to remember that different people, lahat tayo we have different emotional vulnerability as well. What we may think na madali lang para sa atin, we're not sure if mahirap yun para sa ibang tao. And we have to respect that because we are raised in a different natures or like scenarios. We have different family setups, diba? Or like kung ano man yung klaseng kinalakihan natin. But siguro, answering to that question lang is to always entail in our minds na wala tayong say sa buhay ng ibang tao. Like, what we just really need to focus on is yung sarili nating buhay, yung sarili nating business. And if we want to be involved in other people's lives, is if we just want to have a positive impact in their lives. Pero, kung yung mga usapan na parang mangingialam tayo in a way na parang we are judging the way they live or kung ano man na estado ng buhay nila, let's not do that. Kasi at the end of the day, we do not see the real scenario sa buhay nila. So if we practice that kind of mindset, mas nagkakaroon tayo ng ano ba, parang as individuals is we are building positive barriers sa isa't isa. And we know exactly how to connect na hindi naman na-disrespect yung kanilang personal space. And in order para magawa talaga natin yan is we're protecting our vulnerability while at the same time we understand that we have different scenarios sa buhay natin. And at the end of the day, wala tayong say sa kung anong nangyayari sa buhay ng ibang tao.
That's good. I think parang in order to add to that then, if I may, add ko lang din na in order to protect one's vulnerability, one should be comfortable in one's individuality din.
Yes.
Kasi, ano tawag na to? You can be a vulnerable all you want. Okay, I'm like this, I'm ganito, I'm ganyan. But the moment someone tells you otherwise, tapos naapektuhan ka bigla, it means that kailangan mo pa, you still have to work on your individuality.
Yes po.
Kasi
I agree.
if you're not comfortable with that kind of individuality, naku, kahit anong vulnerability ang pakita mo sa mundo, kakatayin ka pa rin ng any feedback or criticism that is opposite to what you want to hear.
Opo.
Sadly, sorry, kasi karamihan kasi nakikinig sa akin is young generations So I'm sorry sa mga nakikinig. There is this challenge kasi sa mga young ones natin na kung saan they share this idea so that they can attract people who share their same ideas as well, and automatic magugrupo-grupo sila din. That's good. They are building a community. But at the same time, while building that kind of community, any opposite pananaw doon sa ganung mindset, automatic iniitsapwera nila.
Opo, yes.
And that is also not healthy kasi any opposition to any kind of topic, any kind of idea is a healthy way para makita mo kung saan ka nga ba talaga lulugar sa mundo. Because if all you see is kung ano lang yung gusto mo at ano lang yung naagrihan ng karamihan, it will lead you to be biased. Tama. Usually, there were cases na, I will not name names, but there were cases na I've known this advocate for years that promotes love, care, self-help, lahat, anything like that. And the moment na may nag-contradict doon sa sinabi niya, pinersonal niya, minaliit yung taong nag-contradict. And parang, it's kind of a hypocritical claim na you profess this kind of love, but you cannot, what do you call this? Hindi mo siya kayang i-apply sa mga taong sumasalungat sa'yo. Diba? So parang there's ganun. I love, maganda yung ganung conversation na hopefully ma-master ng mga young ones. Kasi as a political science major, one of the things na magandang quality ng political science major is that you can have healthy arguments.
Yes.
Diba? So ngayon, that slides in with the next topic.
Okay.
Na for sure, ito yung gusto kong i-share mo sa mga bata talaga. Kasi karamihan, you said young ones ang audience mo. How does one handle disagreements, conflicts, misunderstandings properly?
How to handle
Yes.
those? Okay, so
Based on your experience.
it's actually a case-to-case basis. Pero one thing that I have really learned is to be open with facts. Dapat hindi tayo madaling masway ng mga opinions lang and like we take it personally. Kasi yun nga, just like what you have mentioned, sir, we need to always remember that, especially as we live in a democratic country,
Yes.
we have diverse opinions. And that lagi tayong may sariling pananaw on stuff and tulad na nabanggit ko kanina, maraming factors affecting to that. And we need to respect that, considering that we have our own individualities nga. And in order for us to gracefully handle disagreements or like debates, we need to remember first na, okay, not everything what I say is mag-a-agree ang kausap ko, and that's okay. And at the same time, not everything that he or she tells me is mag-a-agree ako, and that's okay. The more that we open ourselves to that kind of mentality, the more that we realize na we will have a healthier conversation. Kasi we're opening ourselves to different opinions coming from other people. And then from that, we could actually build a stronger connection with that person. Kasi mas na-establish natin yung maraming topics regarding to that certain general topic. And then natin makikita na actually, there are a lot of things pala na we never knew about that certain topic. And because of yung sa kausap natin, because of everything that he or she have shared, is na-realize natin na, nga pala, no, that could be seen in a different lens pala. That could be taken pala in a different perspective. And that's very important. Kasi in my personal scenario as well, yung mga pinagdaanan ko sa subject namin na debate and argumentation, nakakatuwa kasi at first akala ko parang I can handle debates well na. Pero nung talagang sinabak na kami sa sandamakmak na debates, nakakatuwang isipin pala na in a certain topic, akala mo na pag-aralan mo na lahat. Pero nung naisalang ka na sa debate, ang dami pa palang bagay. And like a lot of times I'll be like, oo nga no. And na-challenge mismo yung sariling point of view mo. Like darating sa point na may question mo na rin na, oo nga pala, pwede palang ganun. And that's a beautiful story to have something like that. Kasi nakikita natin na how those diverse opinions will really help you rin to see things in a different perspective. And dapat ganun lang. Parang we take it healthily and not toxic na parang masyado tayong takot mag-accept ng opinions from other people.
Kasi, ano tawag nito? Let's admit it sa lahat ng mga nakikinig, even between you and me din. Baka may karoon ng disagreements. No matter how healthy you want it to be, once na first-hand experience mo, mapait siya eh.
Oo, sometimes na-hurt yung ego natin.
Oo.
Mali ba ako?
Mapapaganon ka na, sino ba itong nagsasabi ng ganitong mga bagay? And parang to add dun sa sinabi mo sa learning sa argumentation and debate, so parang guide na rin ito sa mga nakikinig on how to see whether kung ang argument mo ba is nagiging valid na siya or hindi. Kasi one of the key rules sa argumentation and debates is that you never become emotional in speaking your arguments. Tama? Na the moment you say na I feel sa arguments mo, ay automatic, discredited ka na, mawawalan ka na ng validity in what you are speaking. So parang, this can be also applied outside of the debate scene na kung saan, if you are arguing so much based on how you feel alone lang, without divulging kung ano nga ba yung cause nung bakit ganun ang feeling mo, your argument will just look like you are complaining. And yun ang hindi nakikita ng iba. Sorry. At yun yung hindi nakikita ng iba. Kasi for people to argue means that you know information. Kaya nga argument siya, it's an argument of ideas. It's not an argument of emotions. Kasi emotions are valid naman talaga. Ideas are supposed to be challenged. You're not supposed to challenge emotions. Kasi parang, nagtatalo tayo, bigla akong umiyak. Oh, ayoko. Ganyan. Wala na. Once na umiyak na ako, parang sa part...
That will be a different story.
Hindi mo na alam kung paano ka mag-handle. And most people do that. And parang it's a case of manipulation din of other people na matutunugan nyo to as you grow older. The more people you are in conflict, tas ang first response nila ay umiyak lang, that's the defense mechanism in order to prove their point. They're manipulating you to agree with their point. You will, it may seem far-fetched, habang kinikwento ko siya, but I promise you, pag na-experience nyo siya, I don't know if you've experienced those kinds of people as well, but the way to handle that, simple lang. And my dad taught me this, kasi ginawa ko yun before. The way he taught me is that, first is you be silent. Umiiyak, tas umiyak na, tas tatanungin mo lang siya, okay, so na-release mo yung emotions mo, sige, pag-usapan na natin ito ha. So parang lalabas na you let the emotion show, but at the same time there's still a matter at hand, kung ano ba yung mga dapat pag-usapan. It can be a topic for debate, it can be how you handle a team, or in your case how you handle with your managers, how you handle with your co-beauty pageant co-pageant women. Tama ba yung terms ko? Co-candidates, exactly. So, apologies for that. So, kasi conflict will never be, as a social science major, alam naman natin na conflict will never be removed in a society, but it's still beneficial. So, please, as much as possible, engage in healthy arguments na hindi na kailangan makipag-inuman.
Agree.
Kasi may mga ganong cases, di ba? Okay. And also, I'm not sure if you're comfortable opening about this, pero last conversation that we had last year, may nasabi ka ngayon na hindi mo nasabi before, is that the presence of a boyfriend. So, una, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you to do, kasi last time, yung sinishare mo before na parang, it's hard din, kasi so ngayon, hello po, madam.
My parents are here.
Nandito po yung parents ni Macy kasi. So, if it's okay with you to talk about it, is that, how did your partner supported you in ways na you can never expect someone to go those lengths for you.
Oh, actually, I'm grateful that you've asked for that po. Kasi I feel like this deserves a recognition naman. Yung effort talaga na binubuhos ng boyfriend ko. So yung boyfriend ko po, his name is Ross.
Hi.
So he's from Sorsogon City actually. And parehas kami sa BU nag-aaral. Ayun. So, all the efforts talaga na binuhos niya sa akin sa pagpa-pageant is not super immeasurable. Kasi actually, I wasn't expecting talaga na magiging ganun yung effort niya. Kasi siya po yung laging una sa lahat is tumutulak sa akin na mag-join pa ng mag-join. Kasi tulad nung na-mention ko kanina, like, nahirapan talaga ako pagsabayin sa academics yung pagpa-pageant ko. And also considering that I'm alone in Legazpi and feeling ko like ako lang talaga yung humaharap sa lahat ng mga challenges na kinakaharap ko. Talagang never siya nawala sa tabi ko. And siya yung laging nagpaparealize talaga sa akin sa worth ko or like sa capabilities ko, how capable I am as a person and as a beauty queen. And napakaraming beses po kasi Sir PJ talaga na these past few months, gusto ko na sumuko. Kasi sobrang napfrustrate na ako sa kung paano pagsasabayin talaga ang lahat. And feeling ko hindi ko na kaya, super drained na talaga ako. And ilang beses yun na ganun ako ng ganun, wala akong ibang ginawa kundi mag-run. Pero never siya napagod, never talaga siyang sumuko sa pag-remind sa akin of what my worth is. And nakakatuwa kasi lahat talaga yung nagbunga. Na dun sa last pageant na sinalihan ko, nasabi ko, ito na yung pinaka-last. Sa sunod-sunod na to. After nito, pahinga na talaga. I was able to bring home the crown. And nakakatuwa kung makikita niyo. Actually, I uploaded it na nakuha siya ng camera. Yung reaction niya talaga is grabe nung tinawag ako na winner.
Ay, yung nasa stand
Yes
siya
po,
noon.
napanood niyo po, sir. Opo. And parang seeing like that, it was a very genuine and raw reaction. And seeing that is, dun ko napatunayan na like, lahat talaga ng pinapakita niya these past few months ay sobrang totoo talaga. And kahit ako naman, hindi ko talaga yun maki-question. Siya yung mas further na nag-push sa akin. And at the same time, hindi lang basta sa gano'n ng motivational words. Siya yung naging gym instructor ko. Siya yung talagang kasama ko na early morning jog, late night gym sessions. Talagang tinitingnan niya. Inaano niya yung diet ko, kung nasusunod ko ba, yung mga preparations ko.
May times ba na ikaw na yung sumusuway sa diet at siya dinidisiplina ka na?
Dinidisiplina niya ako. Pero he's not doing it as a nagger, na parang nagnanag lang siya. Talagang pinapakita niya sa akin na he wants to see me succeed in this field na talagang pinangarap ko. And pinaparamdam niya na may kasama ako.
Okay.
Kaya yun, thank you lang. Ay!
Nakakatuwa makita na ganun
Sir.
yung ganung expression mo. So parang feel ko na parang may kulang if hindi ko ma-open yun kasi very prominent yung presence ng partner mo throughout
Opo, yes po.
throughout your journey sa pageantry, even sa fitness.
Opo.
Yung tipong dun makikita na a good partner will help you talaga to be a better version of yourself. Kahit minsan ayaw mong magbago, pero nandun siya para
Ipupush kang magbago talaga
ipupush
for the
talaga
better.
siya. Okay, that's kaya nakakatuwa yung
Thank you,
ganong
sir.
kwento, and hopefully mas lalo pang lumalim at tumagal.
Opo, thank
So,
you po.
This one, if it will be okay with you, this is a bit sensitive din. Kasi this is talking about money. Kasi usually, okay. So one of the shocking reveals na natawa ko dun sa comment section nung nag-post ka nung nanalo ka, nung Miss Pili. Yung hawak mo yung check nung panalo na. May mga nag-comment dun sa ang laki pala nang nakukuha sa sabi, so, may mga comments sa mga ganun na nakikita nila, ay may pera pala sa ganito, ang laki pala ng pera sa ganito. But on your case, how do you handle your finances? Kasi it is, ano tawag na to? The cash prize na nakukuha sa isang beauty pageant, hindi naman siya guaranteed na, okay, you want this kind of money, lahat yan mapupunta sa'yo because, of course, you invested as well. Diba? So, how do you manage it na you see it na mag-grow siya for you instead of you working for your money din?
Honestly, una sa lahat, super grateful ko talaga sa mga previous pageants ko. Kasi talagang lahat naman po ng pageant ko, even yung mga hindi ko, like, naiuwi yung corona, is may naiuwi talaga akong cash prize. Like, for the Daragang Magayon pageant, kahit di naman po ako nanalo dun, is nakauwi ako ng almost 60K dahil lang sa minor awards.
Oh, nice.
Like, yung best in production number, mga ganun po. And it's a big thing na, diba? Kasi like, yung pag-join mo naman ng pageant is like, you're not expecting na kahit paano makakuha ka. And uuwi ka na may nakuha ka talaga. So, napaka-fulfilling. And ito po recent pageant ko na mutya ng Pili Festival. Actually, 350K po yung
Yes.
napanalunan ko na cash prize. And alongside that is meron pang 150K worth of scholarship and then 50K worth of services. So, napakalaking bagay niya po talaga para sa akin. Kaya na-mention ko nga kanina, actually, pageantry is becoming a career as well. You work hard for it and eventually, may uuwi ka naman talaga if the stars align for you. And how I manage my my finances is una-una po sa lahat, yung parents ko naman is hinahayaan naman talaga nila ako to keep my money. Na they respect na like, it's my money and parang as my career na rin, is progresses, is yun yung mga nakukuha ko din naman na rewards for everything that I have given sa pagpapageant. Pero sa ngayon po is, lagi ko kasing, ito talaga yung like pinangako ko sa sarili ko na every time no, may makukuha akong cash prize sa pageant is, hindi ako magkakaroon ng lavish na lifestyle na parang I will take it as an opportunity para mabili na lahat ng gusto ko. Na hindi yun ganun kasi I do understand na ang pera is mabilis lang yan talaga.
Yes, true.
Mabilis gumalaw ang pera na kahit gano'ng kalaki yung nakuha mo if hindi mo talaga siya ma-manage ng tama is mag-aalam ka zero balance ka na ulit. So sa ngayon po is iniipon ko lang siya. As a student, wala pa naman akong masyadong like mga pangangailangan din talaga and sustaining my everyday life. So, talagang iniipon ko muna siya, then more pageants to come. Kung may natatanggap na cash prize is dumadagdag dito sa ipon ko. And ayun, napaka-importante talaga na we remember na we do not see it as an opportunity para mag-aksaya ng pera. So, yun po.
Okay, that's good. Anong tawag na to? Like you said, ang bilis na mawala ng pera.
Oo.
Bilis na mawala ng pera. Yung kala mong 1 million, akala mo madami na ang 1 million, but
Mabilis na lang
Mabilis
yun
lang siya
with
mawawala.
the demands sa
True.
future generation natin.
true. And yun nga, like kaya ko siya natanong na this is a bit sensitive kasi for sure you posted that you earned those kinds of money. Were there, without naming any names, may mga lumapit bigla bang nagparamdam agad sa'yo? Kasi parang that's, anong tawag nito? Di ko alam kung sa Pinas lang ito or even in other countries na when you post something na, ay ganito, gumaganda na yung buhay mo, may mga na magpaparamdam sa'yo. Were there people na gumanon and how did you handle it if meron?
Ano naman po, wala namang like nangutang,
Oo.
ganon.
walang,
Pero, like,
Macy, kamusta?
Oo, hindi naman gano'n. Pero maraming like nagparinig-rinig na treat, ganyan, treat. And yung mga ganun actually, it's not a big deal naman sa akin. Especially, nag-treat po talaga ako with the people na talagang alam kong walang sawang sumuporta sa akin. Tulad na na-mention ko yung Team Macy, may GC pa po sila. Talagang napaka-active nila. Kahit tapos na yung pageants ko, ang active pa rin nila. They're the people who traveled from Norte to Sorsogon during my recent pageant. Ayan po. And our LGU provided naman po dalawang van for that. Kaya thank you so much, LGU Daet, Mayor and Vice Mayor.
Hello po.
And, and ayun po, kumbaga with the effort, di naman biro na talagang magbiyahe, di ba? Para lang sumuporta sa kandidata for a pageant. And nakikita ko po yun lahat. And nararamdaman ko naman po yun lahat. Kaya, when I was given the chance to bring home that kind of amount of money, is siniguro ko din naman na like, mai-show ko yung gratitude ko by treating them. And yung mga close ko rin, like close friends, best friends, of course my family as well, ayan. So, tamang ganun lang na celebratory na mga treat sa kanila. And aside from that, ayun, wala namang nangutang.
Wala.
Oo,
Wala naman. Walang, Bes, kamusta, Bes?
Apo, wala naman. Mars.
That's good. Kasi, tawag dito, usually may mga ganong kwento talaga, di ba? Pero, thankfully, at least, wala ka masyadong experience sa ganon. So, actually, I have this question na sana pala, kanina ko pa natanong. Kasi I honestly forgot na sumaba ka pala sa Daragang Magayon.
Yes po, opo.
This recent Daragang Magayon. Given the pageant na sinalihan mo sa Binibining Bantayog, sa Miss Pili, Miss Tourism, tapos sa Daragang Magayon Festival, how would you describe the experiences between those kinds of pageant? Kasi iba-iba yung mga kasama mong co-candidates.
Yes,
Yan ha, tama na. Iba yung mga kasama mong co-candidates, iba-iba din yung questions na binibigay sa'yo. So, can you describe the different experiences dun sa mga pageants na yan?
Sige. An inside scoop of what's happening inside pageantry. Well, it all depends on the organizers actually, if kung ano yung magiging flow ng pageants. But as from my personal experience lang, na may other factors na rin na nakaka-affect. Share ko po isa-isa.
Sure.
Very short lang. Na sa Binibining Camarines Norte and yung Daragang Magayon, those were my first 2 pageants this year. And honestly, it was tiring for me kasi yun yung point na nag-aaral pa ako na hindi pa tapos yung academic year. And tulad nga yung na-mention ko, finals week po namin nung nangyari yan parehas kasi magkasunod silang dalawa. And it was tiring for me in a sense na I really need to travel back and forth, like literal na balik-balik ako weekly, pinapahatid ako ni Mami Ato, ayan, and then pinapasundo. And then, masyado siyang mapagod sa part ko, but hindi ko siya may iwan lang dahil dun sa pageant. But of course, dahil nga sa academics ko,
Yes.
na hindi ko din naman pwedeng mapabayaan. Pero, all in all, masaya pa rin syempre yung naging experience ko for those 2 pageants kasi I was able to bond with my co-candidates pa rin naman. Especially dito sa Binibining Camarines Norte, like may mga close na rin ako since mga from Camarines Norte. Same din naman sa Dalagang Magayon, since staying in Albay, naging close ko na rin naman yung mga co-candidates ko even before joining the Dalagang Magayon. Pero yun, talagang yun yung need natin i-consider talaga in joining pageants. You have to know your battles kasi if alam mo may mga external factors na makaka-apekto and it will just drain you, then kailangan matuto din tayong pumili na, okay, siguro wag na lang muna. Kasi masasabi ko, yun yung naging pinaka-struggle ko po talaga that time. It was very, very hard na talagang pagsabayin yung ACADS and pageant ko noon. Pero for my last 2 naman, which is mas kalmado na ako, and siguro may kita naman nag-reflect din yung results na mas naging favorable sa akin yung results. Kasi masasabi ko rin na that is also because mas napaghandaan ko din talaga in terms of like I have enough time and mas focused ako. Like wala ko yung mga iniisip. Iniisip ko lang is yung mismong pageant na yun. So, yung last 2 pageants ko, which is the Miss Bicol Tourism and the Mutiara Pili Festival 2023, mas magaan po sa part ko. I was able to fully enjoy it without stressing myself over my academics, ganyan. So, dun sa last 2 ko, mas masasabi ko talaga na medyo mas magaan siya. And, ayun, yung sa last 2 ko po is, yun nga, syempre, mas masasabi kong mas naging worthwhile kasi I was really able to bring home the crown.
Yes.
Kaya, ayun po, talagang know your battles, even sa pagpa-pageant, is applicable siya.
Pardon my ignorance, I've been wanting to ask you this.
Sige po.
Every time bang papasok ka sa isang pageant? Kasi parang, di ba, may screening process din
Yes
siya.
po, apo.
Tapos eventually malalaman mo kung sino yung mga candidates mo.
Apo.
May mga times ba na, okay, parang in-scout mo, sino-sino yung mga potential na, kasi technically, co-candidates are competitors din.
Apo.
Kasama mo sila to compete for the crown. So, may mga times ba na, okay, ito yung mga kasali, ano yung mga kailangan kong baguhin? Parang, alam mo yun, kung sa isang game, parang inaalam mo muna yung kalaban mo before.
Apo.
May mga times bang ginagawa mo yun? And without naming any names, how do you prepare kapag may mga ganong cases?
Hindi naman siya actually mawawala, pero it's very important na hindi tayo mabuhay sa ganong mindset. Kasi kapag talagang tiningnan natin siya like as a competition lang talaga per se, hindi siya magiging helpful sa'yo kasi mas lalo kang magfo-focus sa kanila. And hindi mo nakikita na mas may mga bagay ka na need baguhin or pagfokusan. Pero hindi mo na napapansin kasi you're too focused on your co-candidates. And siguro, parang na-overcome ko naman yung ganyan nung like, actually hindi kasi ever since parang never ko pa naman na-experience talaga na parang like, yung grabbing insecurity upon seeing your co-candidates. Siguro lang din, siguro it depends on how you train your mind din. Kasi matagal na rin naman ako nagpa-pageant and ever since talagang I see to it na mas lamang yung willingness ko to have fun kaysa makita yun as like a competition.
Yeah.
Kasi even though yes, hindi mawawala yung competitive nature, pero it will always depend on you and how you will take it. And based from experience, talagang mas may enjoy mo siya if hindi mo siya tinitingnan as a competition.
That's good.
So yun.
May times ba na, to reverse the question, may mga times ba na you felt na ikaw yung ini-scout na, ay, ito, ito, nandito si Macy. Naramdaman mo ba yun? Or parang, once maramdaman mo yun, how did you handle it then?
Opo, naramdaman ko naman siya. Pero, hindi ko lang talaga siya hinahayaan parang to get into my mind. Kasi, pag ganun, that's the kind of things that we need to be careful of. Kasi, yun yung mga tipong hindi mo napapansin is nababago ka pala as a person, negatively. So, dapat we need to have this presence of mind kung paano natin tinitake or pinaperceive ang mga bagay-bagay. And it's very important, considering na in a pageant, talagang ang dami mong nakakasalamuha, different people, mga handlers, organizers, and napaka-importante pa rin talaga ng ugali.
So parang yung unconscious
Yes
thoughts
po.
nga, 'di ba? So parang to add to that din, ano tawag nito, there was this experiment before na ginawa na iba't ibang kinds of job applicant siya. Tapos yung experimenter parang nilagyan ng scar or parang nilagyan ng guhit dito sa noo or sa scar dito, tapos papa-applyin sa iba't ibang trabaho. Tapos eventually, yung mga nag-apply ng trabaho na nalagyan ng scars is that they had this negative impressions na parang hinuhusgahan daw sila nung interviewer, hinuhusgahan sila ng mga kasama nila. Pero in reality pala, that experiment, the scar were never there. Parang tinesting na, okay, lalagyan ka ng ganito. Tapos binuralin pala. Binura lang siya. Tapos ang sabi lang, I think the experimenter said na, okay, brush up lang. Para yung palang brush up na yun, inalis yung scar. So parang walang sa mukha nila, but that kind of negative thinking unconsciously made them be negative about other people, na parang they see themselves as a victim din. So parang it's a good mindset na sinabi mong presence of mind, na you ask yourself, okay, bakit ganito yung naramdaman ko? Tapos you work on it. Again, the moment you give up on your emotions or let your emotions control you, nga ka na. It works. Cliche as it sounds, no? As cliche as it sounds, emotions can destroy you talaga. Kasi it's how you siguro maybe that's how one of the reasons then why people also admire you din. Kasi it shows din talaga na the world you're exposed to, it's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging, na technically you are expected na lagi kang ma-stress, but you're not showing it. You're showing this elegance, confidence na kung saan people wants to achieve. So ngayon, for one of the last two questions na lang din. Yay, malapit na. One of the last two questions is that, as someone like me na hindi ako exposed sa beauty pageant, or maybe I don't have plans to go into beauty pageants. Yay! I don't have plans to go into beauty pageants. How can you advise me to be confident, to be expressive on myself, while maintaining control of my emotions?
Siguro, this is hard to practice, pero the very first thing kasi talaga we have to remember, or you have to remember, is to be comfortable with your own skin.
Yeah.
Kasi going back, connected pa rin to dun sa mga sinasabi natin kanina, no, na hindi ka talaga magiging confident if you do not embrace your individuality as it is. We have to realize na talagang iba't iba tayo. Like, we will always see someone who's better than us.
Yes, of course.
Na, like, feeling natin mas maganda, mas matalino, mas talented, ganito, ganyan. All the positive traits na mas ikalalamang nila. Pero all of those won't matter if alam mo sa sarili mo na you have your own unique traits that makes you up as a person. And kung ganun lang tayo, if we just learn how to be kinder, di ba? And to be gentler in ourselves, na kahit ano pa man na pinagkaiba natin sa ibang tao is that's okay. Na alam natin may sarili tayong buhay, and may sarili tayong mundong ginagalawan, then matututunan talaga natin siya makita in a lighter perspective, na mas ma-embrace natin yung sarili natin for who we really are. And napaka-importante talaga niya na like reminder, especially as we face a more competitive talaga na generation ngayon.
Yes.
Wherein, di ba, lapagan ng degree, lapagan ng lahat na pwedeng maipagyabang. As much as yes, it does good, kasi talagang mas tinuturuan natin yung mga kabataan ngayon to dream big. It's equally important as well to just be evocative, na mas pagtuunan natin yung pag-express natin ng emosyon, or to be who we really are, kesa dun sa mga ganong klaseng aspeto lang. Kaya ayun po.
Yeah, that's good. Nasasanay ako sa that's good. Parang, kasi,
okay,
parang it's, a force of habit of mine kapag nasa recitations.
That's good.
That's good. Na parang, I was called out by a student last semester, I was called out by a student na, "Sir, hindi mo ina-acknowledge yung sagot namin."
That's good.
That's good. Then proceed to the next one. Parang it's a force of habit na kailangan ko rin baguhin. And, ang tawag nito, the way you share yung ganung level of confidence, handling confidence with your individuality, it really applies, lalo na ngayon. I know, alam mo yun, we cannot pinpoint it, but somehow, somewhat, ang competitive na talaga ng environment natin.
Opo.
Regardless kung saan kang genre. Kahit nga,
Opo.
I saw this wholesome post sa TikTok before na parang nag-aalaga lang ng mga hayop. Tapos may mga comment pa doon
May
na,
ano pa rin.
sabi-
May competition
sabi
pa
ko,
rin.
ano ba yan? May mga, well, we cannot really handle that. Pero,
Apo.
yun nga, parang before we jump to the last question, your example kasi is a very prominent case na, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na spotlight effect? Na you deem everyone is looking at you kahit hindi naman talaga.
Apo.
And there's also this one na the audience effect. Actually, this is not this is just my own personal concept. Baka i-research ninyo, i-fact check ninyo, masabi niyong mali ako. So, disclaimer lang. This is my own concept din, ha. So, ayun nga, I have this what we call the audience concept, which is very the complete opposite of the spotlight effect na you see the audience entirely, you do not see your own. And that's very, nakakabahala siya. Kasi, pag nakita, diba, based on your experience din, even in the classroom setting, kapag nasa unahan ka, nagsasalita ka, may makita ka lang na isang kumunot ang noo
Apo.
na nakatingin sa'yo, you will be bothered din talaga. Tama? And most of us are so hyper-focused on that. We never see kung ano nga ba yung potential na meron tayo. So, in that case, sa mga young ones natin, parang ang tanda ko na. Never mind. Sa mga young ones natin, as you grow old or as you mature then, you will be met with people with different kinds of opinions sa'yo. All you have to do is see whether or not those opinions can stick with your growth or can just adjust to your barriers or to your strengths. Kasi, ano tawag nito? Diba, lahat ng mga tao may binabato sa atin. Dalawa lang yan. It's either it can make you it can make you beautiful, it can destroy you, or it can help you grow. May either fertilizer man siya, so it depends on the person din naman talaga. I don't know. Basta yun na siya. Kasi, I ask those kind of questions kasi seeing your growth is amazing. As in, di ako makapaniwala sa
Thank you, sir.
amazing growth na hindi ako it's a testament. If you listen to our I think I will link it below.
Okay.
Yung previous nating conversation. If you listen to the way you talk before, the way you respond to questions, you will see this hint of restrictions pa on your end. But now, buelong ka na. And that is so amazing to see. So now for the last question, for sure, second to the last question ha. For sure may tinatanong ng karamihan. Do you plan to go for bigger pageants? Binibining Pilipinas, Miss Universe, Miss World, ano pa ba? Miss International, I think I don't know if there's meron 'di ba Miss International. So, do you have plans for that and how do you see yourself preparing for that? Kasi I think you said before na plan mo rin mag-take ng law after graduation. So, paano mo sineset yung ganong projection ng journey mo?
Yes po, I do have plans joining bigger pageants. And sa ngayon, actually, hindi ko muna masyadong pinipressure yung sarili ko. Like, I'm just taking one step at a time. I'm very grateful na I was now able to bag regional pageants or regional titles, I mean. And sa ngayon, ang priority ko muna is, even though I'm still gonna join pageants pa naman sa mga susunod na month, pero pinaka-priority ko talaga muna is, of course, makapagtapos, graduate. I'm an incoming fourth-year student na, so that's a very crucial point in my life na. Siguro, after I graduate, that's the point na mas i-analyze ko if ano na talaga yung plans ko in joining bigger pageants. But sa ngayon talaga, personally po, ayoko muna yung overthink yung plans ko after graduation. Kasi feeling ko medyo may stress ako sa ngayon. Parang trinain ko din kasi yung sarili ko na those things na sa ngayon is out of your control pa naman is huwag muna masyadong isipin. But I definitely have plans. And siguro, pag malapit na yung graduation ko, na alam kong tapos na ako sa pag-aaral, that's the point na mas pagfo-focusan ko na itong either mag-take a break ba muna, like sabihin natin for a year before law school, para mag-pageant din muna, or if ano ba, kung ano muna ang uunahin. So, ayun.
Kasi once pumasok sa law school, parang
yes po.
Talagang committed na yan. I think ikaw na nagsabi, to quote, kasi I think before we start kasi this episode, pinakinggan ko ulit yung previous conversation.
Okay.
One of the things you said na kapag nag-law school ka na, wala, as in everything will be on hold din.
Opo, yes.
Kaya, so, best of luck on your journey.
Thank you, sir.
And, anong tawag nito? all throughout this journey. Hopefully, supportahan ka din. For sure, susuportahan ka ng... Anong tawag ng fans?
Team Macy po.
Team Macy. Akala, anong tawag?
May t-shirt pa po sila, nagpagawa sila. Na, initiative nila yun. Nabigla na lang rin ako na may t-shirt sila. Team Macy.
Ano yung tawag na to? Such kind of support is parang
Opo.
irreplaceable talaga siya, 'di ba? You have this internal support from parents, loving support from a partner, then encouragement from these friends, tapos meron ka pang iba't ibang fan group.
Yes
So,
po.
yeah, you have ang tawag nito, having it all, tapos doon mo rin marirealize na how it makes you humble at the same time.
Opo.
So that's good. Nakaka-proud naman makita yun.
Thank you, sir.
So with that said, before we end, do you have any final words, messages? May gusto ka pang i-plug in sige, you can
Sige
but
po.
you can do that now. Dati hindi natin magawa
Sige,
before
sige,
Sige.
First of all, since I'm given this kind of platform now to express my gratitude, of course, hindi ko yun hinayaan lumagpas to. I want to thank everyone who's supporting me. I know that I can't mention you all one by one, pero nararamdaman ko po ang mainit na pagsuporta nyo. A lot of people have been sending me private messages on my messenger, and hindi ko po talaga ma-replyan lahat kasi marami talaga. And yung ganong klase ng kind of support talaga na nafe-feel ko is sobrang irreplaceable nga tulad ng sinabi mo, sir. Kaya maraming salamat po, just to generally thank everyone. Maraming salamat po. And of course, my family, my parents, my stage parents who's here today, my mommy and daddy, my mama and dada, and to all my uncles, aunties, and cousins na talagang numero uno rin sa pagsuporta sa akin. Thank you so much. Mahal na mahal ko kayo. And of course, my boyfriend as well, stage jowa, and his family. Ayan, thank you so much po na second home ko na rin sila sa Sorsogon, considering na nagpa-pageant na rin ako doon. And ayun, to my Team Macy, again, maraming salamat. To my glam team as well, to Mami Acto, Tita Jude, Tita Rian, and everyone consisting our glam team. Maraming salamat po for always making me feel beautiful and confident in all of my appearances, pageant man o hindi. And of course, to the LGU DAAT as well, and to our provincial government of Camarines Norte. Talagang ramdam ko po ang suporta ninyo with the transportation you've been providing sa aking mga pageant supporters. Ayan, thank you so much po. And i-plug, wala naman ako ipa-plug, but maybe you can guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm currently inactive, pero I'm planning to be back on my YT. You can follow po, it's just Macy, M-A-C-Y, ayan.
Link
Maybe
below
you
na
can
lang.
subscribe, ayan, link below. And to my socials as well.
Yes.
Ayan, makilink na lang tayo kay Sir PJ. And ayun, siguro, just to end this, I wanted to send a brief message to everyone. Tulad ng ng lagi kong sinasabi a while ago, to love yourself, be comfortable in your own skin, and everything will follow next. Ayun lang. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig.
Okay.
Sir PJ, thank you.
So with that said, this is your host, PJ. Again, thank you so much, Miss Macy, for guesting this episode, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye!
Thank you. Bye.